So I'm going to lay out 6 steps that if I were starting over right now, this is exactly what I would do, and I would be retired with millions of dollars in 5 years. So here we go. So step one is going to be obvious, and I totally get it. But step four, five, and six, that is where the magic is going to happen. So step one is going to be that you need to make as much money at your day job as you possibly can. And think about this real quick. The typical full time day job employee, they work about 2,000 hours per year. So if you're able to come up and find a way to make $10 per hour more, that is $20,000 per year in your pocket. That's 20 grand that you can invest, 20 grand that you could do stock options with. That 20 grand is going to grow into way more money down the road. So it's critical to make as much money as you can at your day job because you're going to be there anyways. You're still spending the same amount of time per week there. So you might as well make as much money as you can. And once you do make more money at your day job, do not increase your standard of living. I see so many people trying to keep up with the Joneses. The split second that they get a pay raise, they go get a better car. They get the one with the nice wheels. They go buy a bigger house. They go on that vacation. I get it that you still have to live your life, but it's critical that when you get a pay raise, you put the vast majority of that extra money into your brokerage account and invest it because you're surviving right now without that pay raise. So once you get that pay raise, just invest the difference. Step number two, I learned this one the hard way because when I started out investing, I felt like I knew everything. I didn't have to read a book. I didn't have to watch YouTube videos. I didn't have to go to seminars. I didn't have to do courses. I just felt like I knew what was going on in the stock market because I just knew. I made some plays. I made a little bit of money. I lost a little bit of money, but overall I was doing decent. But then unfortunately, one day I got wiped out roughly 10 years ago. And at that point, I said, it is time to educate myself. It's time to learn how the stock market actually works. How's the risk look? How's the reward look? Just how does the whole market look right now? There's so many dynamics to know how to be a good investor, what actually matters and what does not matter. So the day that I sat down and I decided to take this serious and I'm not going to be cocky anymore and I'm going to learn how to invest the right way, I made it a point to read roughly 2 books per month about investing, economics, psychology of money, really anything revolving around how to be a better investor. And I've been doing that for roughly a decade now, and it's paying dividends. I'm now scaling my portfolio to over a couple $1,000,000. I'm generating thousands of dollars with monthly option cash flow, and now I'm teaching other people how to do the same exact thing. But if I wouldn't have took that major step to educate myself, I probably never would have made it in the investing field, and I probably would have been miserable at my 9 to 5 job till I died. So step three is where we start to make a little bit of money. And this is where I say to start your brokerage account and start building your base portfolio. And everyone asks me, Brandon, what is your base portfolio and why do you do your base portfolio like this? I like putting my base portfolio 40% VOO, 40% QQQ, and 20% individual companies. So I get it. That base portfolio is very, very boring, but that base portfolio is going to outperform 95% of anybody in the long term. That's hedge funds, that's financial pros, that's other ETFs. That base portfolio is going to dominate 95% of other investors after fees included in the long run. And I see so many people are like, Brandon, this strategy is boring. Like, why are you just buying shares in a base portfolio? And I'm like, what is your alternative? Do you have a better strategy than this to make more money? If you do, leave it in the comments below. Tell me your strategy that's better than the base portfolio. And I want you to back test that and tell me if you beat the S&P and the NASDAQ combined plus 20% individual companies in the long run. Most people are honestly going to be able to say they haven't beat the S&P. And of course, there's probably going to be some comments below from some people that made a crap ton of money in 2023 and 2024 because the market was ripping higher. And full disclosure, I do a lot with stock options, and we're going to get into that in just a second. That is the next step. So last year for 2024, my portfolio almost doubled. It went up roughly 100% year over year. And for 2023, it was up like 60%. So I could totally crush the market in bull markets, but in bear markets, when things go down, how is your risk profile? Are you going to get completely wiped out? Because you can't make it to the bull markets if you can't survive through the bear markets. So it's critical to understand that, and it's critical to build the base portfolio in something that's going to survive through the bull markets and the bear markets and do fine in the long run. So this is where it gets interesting, and this is how I generate consistent cash flow in my portfolio month after month after month, all in a low risk way. I love to do options trading, and a lot of the option trading that I do, it's selling options. I'm not usually buying options. I'm usually selling options. So whenever I feel like something is cheap and I'm bullish on that stock, I like to sell puts on that stock. And whenever I feel like something is expensive and I'm bearish on the stock, I like to sell calls. So let me explain how this works a little bit. So essentially when I'm selling put options, there's just someone else on the other side of the trade buying a put option from me. And what does a put option allow someone to do? They're able to sell their shares at a certain price in a certain time frame. So they're usually buying downside protection on their portfolio because they're just scared their stocks are going to fall. It's kind of like buying insurance on your portfolio. But if I'm bullish on a stock, maybe it fell a lot in price and it's cheap now, I'm bullish on the stock, I think it's going to go up. I will sell them that insurance, that downside protection insurance, because I don't feel like the stock is going to keep going down. I actually feel like the stock is going to rebound and go higher. And this works out great because when stocks are falling, the typical emotional investors are just freaking out. They want to buy put options to get downside protection. And that's just typical human psychology playing out, where when things go down, they panic. And when things go up, they're just getting euphoric and they want to buy into it. So I use that to my advantage because as things are falling, as everybody's freaking out, I'm selling these put options for more money than what they're actually worth because there's more demand for people to buy put options from me. So when there's more demand to buy something, the price goes up and I'm selling them that product, I'm selling them that put option. So I'm going to receive more cash flow when I sell that put option. Now on the reverse side, when things are pumping out the wazoo and going to the moon, I like to sell call options at that time because people are euphoric. And when they're euphoric, what do they want to do? They want to buy call options because they think the stocks are just going to keep going up. But unfortunately, when there's max euphoria, max hype in the market, max, expensive valuation, that's typically when stocks go down, but that's typically when the call option premiums are usually the highest. So remember, they're going to buy a call option from me and I'm going to sell it to them for top dollar because it's max euphoria in the market. So I like to sell the call options and then usually the stocks go down or they just stay flat. And I just collect these premiums month after month after month. It's like clockwork. And full disclosure, I buy call options all the time and I buy put options all the time too. But it's honestly so much harder to buy options and make consistent money versus just selling options because the vast majority of options that people buy, they usually expire worthless. So step 5 builds perfectly off of what we just talked about with selling options and buying options. And it's what is the purpose of doing options? Like, yes, we want to make money with options. We want to buy call options and then go way to the moon. And then we want to sell options and they just all expire worthless because we want to sell options for say 20,000 bucks. And then we want them to expire at zero. And then we just made $20,000 in cash flow. So here's the thing about it. So when I make money with options, whether I buy them or sell them, I take those profits and I roll it back into my base portfolio. So options are not the primary strategy. Options are just a way that when there's something compelling that comes across my desk where it's like, this stock is super cheap or this stock is super expensive, we're either going to sell puts or we're going to sell calls, or maybe we'll just buy calls or buy puts, whatever strategy makes sense at the time, the profits that we make by doing that option strategy, we take that money and go put it back in the base portfolio because the base portfolio is just this snowball that we're trying to get rolling down this hill as fast as we possibly could. And the more money that we add to that snowball, the faster that it's going to compound. So most people skip building the base portfolio, and it's honestly a massive, massive mistake. So I recommend to build the base portfolio, and I recommend to build the base portfolio up to roughly $10,000 to $20,000 before you go into stock options. But once you get to that level, it's game on. You could start selling options, you could start buying options, you could start doing this safely to build your base portfolio much faster. And step 6, which is the final step right here, it's the ability to retire. It's the ability to make money with your portfolio, sell options, buy options, generate consistent, safe cash flow from anywhere in the world. You can live on an island. You can live on a ski resort. You can live wherever you want to live. As long as you have access to internet and your computer or your phone for just a few hours a week, you're able to do this strategy easily. So yes, I am still very active in my life, but I have the ability to retire if I want to. I could walk away at any moment and I'm going to be financially free for the rest of my life. That is the best feeling in the world. I'm not saying I will walk away. I'm just saying that I could, and that makes everything different when you wake up in the morning and you start working. It's working because you want to work, not working because you have to work. So if you got value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe because I drop a video every other day. And also, if you want to learn my strategy, how I scaled to millions, how my students are scaling right now, how we're generating this monthly consistent cash flow, you could come into my course and my Discord for free right now, literally for free. But it's not going to be like that forever. So click the link below, come on in for free, and I'll see you guys there.